I'm pleased that you asked me to do this because I am such an advocate for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, thank you, Vickie, for doing this. We've had conversations in the past about this, and I know it's something that you're passionate about. You have experience, you have much to share and teach.
Mhm.
So, why don't you just start out by maybe sharing whatever it is you want to share about who you are?
I'm Vickie Van Kempen. I've been a member of our church for 50 years, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe even a little more than that. Um, I'm a mom, a single mom of two kids. They're both adult children. My daughter, 26, is married, and I've just been told that I'm going to be a grandma. So,
Yay!
yeah, first time grandma. I'm excited about that. Self-employed. I work locally, so I know the struggles of the whole health insurance and what people need and how important it is to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in my situation as well as many. But
Mm-hmm.
I want people to know that this is an illness and it is something that if I would have been able to control because I was diagnosed with it 25, 30 years ago, I would not have it. I
Yeah.
would have tried to fix it when I knew that I was diagnosed with it, but it's not that easy.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking about mental health, and do you want to share what exactly you were diagnosed with?
I was diagnosed as an anorexic depressive. And
Okay.
what that is many years ago, I ended up losing weight and was weighed in at my doctor at 89 pounds, and I was 5'7".
Wow.
They diagnosed me as an anorexic depressive, not because I was unsatisfied with the way I looked.
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed. I slept my life away. I didn't eat. I didn't communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
I literally slept 20 hours a day
Wow.
just to try to function for the 4 hours a day that I could.
Yeah.
I was at the lowest of my lows. And I know when I went into the doctor and she walked by, I was in the waiting room. She looked and she looked again and she grabbed my arm and she dragged me to her office. And she said, "You sit down and you and I are going to talk."
Wow.
So that is how I was diagnosed. And the only reason I went in is because I was having such horrible chest pain.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was starving my body. I
Right.
was not, there were days I would go without food,
Mm-hmm.
but it was due to the depression and where I was at mentally that was keeping me there.
Yeah. And it's nothing that you can it's not like in that moment you're seeing yourself or reality through a healthy lens where you can just fix it,
No.
see it for what it is, first of all, and say, well, I'm going to do steps A, B, and C to fix this situation. It's just you're not able to see it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. And I knew that something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mentally knew something was wrong. I mentally didn't have the strength or the knowledge to know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at that point, I had already had my children. And it was at that point that I knew if I was not going to get the help necessary that I needed. My doctor told me at that meeting, that first meeting, she said, "You will either die or you will be hospitalized on life support."
Yeah.
It was then that it clicked in my head that I needed to be alive for my children. It wasn't even for me. I needed to be alive for my children.
Mm-hmm.
I made a vow when I had those kids that I would take care of them the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So that was what got me on the course of help to
Yeah.
get the help I needed.
And what helped and what has helped? Because I know that it's not like that was a cold and it got cured and now everything is fine for the rest of your life. That a lot of times things can be, it needs to be kept up with.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You do need to maintain it. You do
yeah.
need to maintain it. Mental health is so important because of the fact that what I try to tell people is you've got your highest of highs and you're riding on this high, and then all of a sudden, whoo, you're down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to crawl. And sometimes it's baby steps, sometimes it's months, years, days, hours to build yourself back up on that top.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've done it, you can do it again because you made it through the first time. You can do it. So what helped me was months and months of psychiatrist. I needed to see a psychiatrist to realize that the reason and the things that I was going through were the reasons why I was feeling the way that I was.
Mm-hmm.
And that everything that was going on in my life, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that I needed to make the effort to put the blame where the blame needed to go. Like I needed to refocus on it wasn't all me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was being told it was. And so
Yeah.
for me, it took a medium, somebody that I didn't know, to say, Vickie, this is what's happening. Now do you see what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Your life is like a seed. You are in the ground, and that is getting piled on top with dirt. And it's not allowing you to grow. And
Mm-hmm.
once you realize and you water and you nurture that seed, which was me,
Mm-hmm.
it will blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I did. So it was months of psychology. I saw a brilliant woman. She was lovely. I even had to go through years of medication
Mm-hmm.
to help adjust and get my brain
Mm-hmm.
and give it what it was lacking to
Mm-hmm.
help me to see. Now it's not for everybody, but it did work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And now what I found over the years, it's not curable. I will have it forever. It goes dormant.
Yeah.
And then there are certain times in life that it resurfaces. And then I have to do that all over again. I go to the bottom and then I have to take those baby steps to the top. But I know I will survive through it because I have before and I will again.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing support system. I have an amazing family. Um, when I was first diagnosed, I'm going to just throw this out there. My mother knew nothing about it.
Mm.
Nobody in my family had depression. Nobody. My mother took the steps to call her doctor and say, I need to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So she did. She went in, she made a doctor's appointment. She said, what am I going to do? How am I going to save my daughter? And the doctor said, you're not. She
Mm.
is going to save herself.
Oh, wow.
But being her support system and knowing that you are there is the best thing you can do for her.
Yeah.
So for the people that don't have it, that are experiencing it in life, and everybody will, at one point in life, somebody is going to experience it in your family. Seek the knowledge, know what the disease or the illness is, and read about it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily want you to fix it. We don't. We want you to help us get through it.
Yeah.
Be our sounding board. Love us unconditionally because like I said, if it was something I could fix, I wouldn't have it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if it was something someone else could have fixed. But I think that's such a great wisdom for people to hear if they know someone in their life that is struggling, is one, it's not something they can just fix.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you can't fix it.
Nope.
And sometimes there's that, we think of it in terms of addiction, but I think in general, there's this, that codependency idea where you feel like you could fix it. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's your love and care for a person that has somehow shifted to where you think you can do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's not what we're talking about. I think that idea of how you support someone going through a difficult time is a beautiful topic, beautiful thing for us to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you, as someone who did live with someone who struggled with depression, I sort of struggled with how to, I overfunctioned,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know really how to do that.
Right.
It was hard. It was hard.
You feel like your love for him or them is enough.
Yeah.
I love you this much. You're not going to leave me. You're not going to, I'm going to help you because I love you that much. It doesn't matter how much you love that person. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It's that person and their internal feelings that are amiss.
Yeah.
And it's up to um, that person needs to fix what's wrong with them,
Yeah.
not you. We need you as a sounding board. We need you to love us unconditionally, no matter what we tell you.
Yeah.
Because there are some days that have been so dark, so dark.
Mhm.
And you process and for me, I try to think of the positive things in my life
Mhm.
and draw myself there,
Mhm.
and don't put everything in the same basket.
Mm.
That is the worst thing to do. It will keep you down forever.
Say more about that.
Forever.
What do you mean by putting everything in the same basket?
This year was a great example for me. I got to a point where I put everything in the same basket. Early last year, my brother had a heart attack.
Mm.
So that was traumatic for me. It was my little brother.
Yeah.
My mother went into the hospital early in the year. In February, I ended a 20-year relationship with a gentleman I love, and I love him still to this day. And we have the most beautiful relationship. I had an allergic reaction in early this year to a medication that has now damaged my neurologic system. So I am struggling health-wise. My dog passed away. I had to put my dog to sleep after 15 years. I have now worked so hard to keep my home that I no longer now have a second income helping me. So my business has been flourishing and I'm working really hard.
Mhm.
My dryer broke, my fridge broke. I'm having problems right now with my plumbing.
Mm.
I'm had major car repairs. Um, I went into the hospital 4 weeks ago and was diagnosed with diverticulitis. So now I have that I'm dealing with.
Wow.
This is, and that's just the icing. That's like not the whole cake. This is just portions that I can tell you.
Sure.
I put them all in one basket. It was overwhelming. Overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I went through my dark times. I slept for days.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything to go back into that dark place.
Mhm.
Now, what I found myself doing, and anybody that has depression, write a list. Make a list of everything you're going through, everything from the menial, you got to take the garbage out on Sunday now because they're not here to do it,
Mhm.
to your life, your health, your job, your family, everything, and prioritize those items. My dryer broke, so what? It's a dryer. My refrigerator's broke, so what? It's a refrigerator.
Mm.
My car is, thank gosh that I had the money to fix my car. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Mhm.
My health. I'm seeing the people that I need to see to help me recover.
Yeah.
I'm doing the right things. So don't prioritize it. Let go of the menial things, the things that don't matter, and
Mhm.
focus on the positive things. I'm going to be a grandma. My son just bought a house. He closes next week.
Mm.
You know, I woke up today and the sun was shining.
Mhm.
Those are the things in life that are important to me.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are important to me.
That's really helpful. That's a really helpful explanation. And I just give you so much love and support for the good work you're doing for yourself. You've learned some important things
Mm-hmm.
through all of this that I think other people can learn. And for some hearing, maybe they haven't it's maybe doesn't feel quite that heavy in their life, but we've all maybe had moments though where it has been overwhelming. I mean, I remember earlier in March, April, when things were shut down, and this was also new and we didn't know what it meant. Um, and the days were gray and wet, and weren't really going out anywhere. And I remember having a day where I was supposed to go grocery shopping, and sometimes I go to Cub, which is close by, and sometimes I go to the co-op. And I stood in my car and I didn't know which to go to. I was frozen. I couldn't make that choice. And Derek came out and he was just asking me, he's like, what are you doing? Just kind of a casual, like, what are you doing? And I just started crying and I said, I don't know what grocery store to go to. And
Yes.
there was this moment where he was like, oh, okay. And I just said, I'm not having a good day. Like, and there was no reason why that day was a bad day. And he just was like, I'll go in the car with you. We're going to Lakewood. So he made that choice with me. He didn't say anything else. He just was like, I'm going with you.
What a gift.
Yeah. And even there's a part of me that was like, but two people aren't supposed to go shopping together, like, but that wasn't the point. And then I went home and I wrote on the whiteboard, and I mentioned this, I think in a sermon months ago, I had to write, what are the things that make me happy?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote like music, dancing, I just, whatever it was I could think of, because I had forgotten. It's like when the clouds start to come, you lose your ability to think objectively,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't just say, I'm not feeling good, I think I should go do this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me, that when I didn't feel good, I looked at that list and I said, well, I haven't done that today.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I did a couple of those things on the list, that I would feel better.
Yep.
And for me, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. But I wonder if for some people that is a helpful thought too, just to say, we all have moments where it just gets too much. And like you said, catalog the positive, find your support system. Who are the people you call? My mom is one of those people that I could call, who I know 100% of the time, I'm going to leave that conversation feeling better.
Yep.
Yeah, it's.
And for me too, I have a close net of friends, and anybody that knows me knows that I love people. Like, it better state it on my gravestone. That's all I got to say. And so what I did find out when you're in a depression, and if you really want to know how to approach people that you would like to talk to, that you think may be a good support for you, is to go to them and ask, can I talk to you about something that's very personal to me? What that does is that allows them the opportunity to say, yes, you can. Or they might say, you know, I don't know how personal it is. I don't know if I'm real comfortable. Okay, now you have allowed them the opportunity to say, sure. And then that will help you when you talk to them to say, if you're really uncomfortable, please let me know. You know, it allows them to allow you the opportunity to talk about how you feel. Most of us know who our really close friends are and who the ones we are that we can go to. And I'm going to tell you from experience, because I've been back seeing a psychologist the last month. I have a handful of friends that continually reach out to say, how are you doing today? Is there anything I can do for you? That is the most beautiful sentiment. What I want people to understand that are going to hear this, mental illness affects everybody differently. It can be something really small that tears you down, or it could be something so huge. Everybody's strengths, weaknesses, courage, inspiration is different. We're all different. So when you or somebody says something to you that you may feel is so menial, it is everything to them. If it wasn't, they wouldn't bring it to your attention. Don't minimize it. Thank them. Thank them for having the courage to say something. A lot of us with depression don't want to ask for the help because we don't want to be a burden.
Sure.
You're not a burden. There are so many people out in this world that suffer from it that you don't know about because they don't want to be a burden.
Yeah.
I have friends that have committed suicide, that have taken their life. It is not a road I will go down, ever. And anybody that has that feeling, please seek help. Call Pastor, call me. I'll give you the information you need to seek help. If you are in pain, and you take your life, all you do is you give that pain to other people. You have now transferred that pain. Let us get you that help. Let us help you find the support that you need. Because I love you. Pastor loves you. And Jesus loves you. This I know. because the Bible tells me so. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. I want to say something that my mother told me years ago, and I said it at my father's funeral. Life is like a kaleidoscope. I'm going to read it. It's beautiful. You take all of the moments of your life, the good, the bad, and even the ugly, and you shuffle those sparkly bits and pieces of life together to create a beautiful image. That's what a kaleidoscope does. It takes black and white and silver and gold, pink and green, yellow and blue, and it makes the most beautiful image. Life is beautiful. It really is. And you will get through the dark times, and you will wake up the next morning and you will open the blinds and you will see the sun is shining again. And if you're going to have a bad day that day, it's okay. When you go to bed that night, you're going to wake up that morning and you're going to open those blinds and the sun is going to shine again. You will get through it. I promise. I'm living proof.
That's awesome, Vickie. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just really good for us to be honest with each other.
Yep.
And be honest that we don't always have good times or days, and the people we love don't either. And to start to educate ourselves on what this all means and what is the healthy best way forward as
Yes.
support people or as the person experiencing it.
Right.
So much of the suffering comes from, I think, feeling alone or feeling like you don't know what's going on.
Yep.
That there's something wrong with you, that you did something, that you should be doing something or whatever. There's just, it's like they say, it's the secrets that they gain their power by being hidden away.
Yes.
And the minute we can open things up, we realize there's great grace.
Yep.
Love, acceptance. God's grace is big enough to wrap every dark corner within us.
Yep.
And that God is, I believe, God uses so many methods to try to reach us. And that's, as you said, it's the therapist, the psychotherapist, psychologist, it's medication, it's daily walks, it's the support group, it's the journaling, it's all of those tools.
Yep.
That God is coming to us to get to us so that we can come back to ourselves and be ourselves. And I love what you say, that this is just life. Life isn't easy. And we never know the cards people are dealt. We never know what people are dealing with, and everyone reacts so differently. That's just humanity, and it's great. It is what it is. I think we judge ourselves and we judge others so much more than God ever would.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to have compassion.
Yeah.
We need to have compassion for the human race. If somebody cuts you off, they might be having a bad day. Try to pray for them. Embrace our differences. Depression is a very lonely place. And it's so important that people know. I had a beautiful upbringing. It's nothing that socially happened when I was younger. This was happening when I was an adult. there are all different reasons why people suffer from depression or mental illness, anxiety, all of the mental health out there. And this year has been especially trying. I'm such an extrovert, and you want me to not hug somebody? Are you kidding me? Oh, this has been just a terrible year for me.
Yeah.
But I'm embracing the change. I
Mm.
can't fix it, so I have to embrace it, and I have to direct myself into it differently. I have to look at it differently. I have to try to understand people differently. I really do try to be more compassionate towards people and try to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
Mental health can be treated.
Mm-hmm.
People can get the help that they need. And I just want people to know that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They may feel alone right now, but they're not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Vickie. This
Yes.
has been wonderful.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
It's truly who I am. I am a very emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
I got that from my dad. Thanks, Dad. But I really do love people, and I really
Mm-hmm.
want people to know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's your strength, Vickie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, enjoy this sunny day.
I will.
It's only going to get warmer all week. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.